Excellent Artists. Today I'm here to show you how to do a simple one-point perspective drawing so that we can learn to make our drawings look a little bit more three-dimensional. And all you're going to need is paper, something to draw with, and something with a straight edge. If you have a ruler, that would work great, but there's lots of other things that have straight edges that we'll talk about. So get your supplies and let's get started. All right, so I've got a piece of paper here, and what you're going to need is something to draw with. I'm going to start with a pencil. You could do this with something else, but if this is the first time you're doing one-point perspective, do something where you can easily change if you make a mistake. You can always go back later if you have crayons, markers, or something else and color this in. You also need something with a straight edge. Now, a ruler, of course, is going to work really great for that, but if you do not have a ruler at home, sometimes I'll even use the side of a marker because it's nice and straight. I use sometimes the side of an index card, or maybe I've got a colored pencil box here. I could use that as well. So be creative. I bet you can find something around your house, the edge of a notebook or something for your straight edge. I've even used the side of a pencil once in a while. And so, because it has a nice straight edge too. What you need to do first is choose a corner of your paper, and what we're going to do is create or draw a dot. Now this dot, I'm putting it up in this corner. If you want to choose another corner, that's okay with me. But what you're going to do, we're going to use this for our vanishing point. Now a vanishing point, point is just another word for dot, but vanishing means to disappear. So everything at this point or at this dot is going to look like it disappears. And first, we're just going to practice this today using some basic shapes. And sometimes people like to just draw those freehand. Other times people like to do trace something, maybe like a cup if you want to do a circle. And I don't care if you use all the same shape or if you use a variety of different shapes. But I want you to just start by drawing some shapes on your paper. So you can draw a heart if you like. If you don't like drawing hearts, of course, choose something else. You could use a triangle, and it doesn't matter to me where you put them on your paper right now. I'm just using my straight edge since it's a triangle. The neat thing about triangles, you just need 3 sides, and it looks good. You could do a rectangle, you could do circles, you choose. I'd like you to do at least 3 shapes. Now, if you decide you want to do more later on, you can do that. And it doesn't matter really where you put them on your paper. For right now, though, I am trying to stay a little bit far away from my vanishing point. It'll just make learning how to do this a little bit easier. It's not wrong if you put it up there. It just might make drawing some of the other shapes a little more difficult. Maybe on this, I'll do one extra. I'm going to trace around this circle I have right here. Oh, maybe I'll put it down here. I'll put it down here. So I am going to draw these, and if I decide I want to add more later, I can. But let's start with these. So first of all, I like to start with shapes that have corners. And the rule is you are going to connect to the vanishing point, the corners, as long as you're not drawing through a shape, okay? You should never have to curve your line. It should always be done with a straight line. So you take your straight edge, whatever that happens to be, and you connect. So make sure your corners lined up with your vanishing point. And every corner is going to line up. Oh, this one's a little long, so I need to have something a little longer here. Probably an edge of a notebook would work really well. Of course, doesn't matter if you're doing this on notebook paper or whatever. We're just practicing this today. And now, you'll notice when I did the heart, it didn't have a corner here. I just went from the edge of that shape right to the vanishing point. Now this is kind of like a corner. It's on the inside. I'm going to line that up with my vanishing point. Make sure my pencil's in the right spot and draw my line. So what do I do down here? Let's see if I can draw. If I put my pencil here, oh no, I'd be going through my heart, so I cannot draw from this corner. But I bet I could do it from the edge here of my shape. Sure looks like it. I always start with the shapes that are closest to my vanishing point and then work my way out. And here's why. When I do these shapes, remember the rule was you can't draw through another one, but I can't just leave them shapes here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to line up the edge here. This one's okay. It can go all the way to the vanishing point. No problem. But this one right here, if I line up, some people think, oh, I'll just curve and I'll go around the heart. You can't do that. It has to be a straight line. So what we're going to do instead, I'm going to turn my paper so it's a little more comfortable for me to turn it around this way so I can see and hold my paper a little easier. All right, so I've got my vanishing point here. I'm still lining it up with the edge of my circle here. Oops, it moved. Always check before you draw anything that it's still lined up with your vanishing point. The vanishing point is the same for all shapes. You can't create a new vanishing point for each shape. So I am just going to stop when I get to that other shape. I was pretending like I was going to draw all the way to the vanishing point, but when I got to the heart, I just stopped. And now I have an overlapping form here. So my heart looks like it's a little bit in front of this, well, I guess it's a cylinder now, isn't it? It's no longer just a circle. All right, so I am going to draw. Let's see if my paper's long enough. I can get to this corner, and it's not running into anything, so I can draw the whole line. What about this corner? Let's try it. Oh, I'm going to have to use my ruler. Line it up. I'm only going to draw just the tiniest bit of the line, though, right here, because it runs into the cylinder there. All right, and then this one, I'm going to go all the way to the vanishing point. All right, so there you can see the lines for drawing your one-point perspective drawing. Next week, I'm going to show you some ways that you can finish this and make it even look a little more 3D by using value and maybe, if you have them, color crayons or colored pencils. So I want you just to practice this. You know, if you want to try more than one of these or different shapes, go ahead and try experimenting with one-point perspective. Remember, this is just one-point perspective, so you can only have one vanishing point. The lines cannot be curved going to the vanishing point, and they cannot go through any of the other shapes. If you have corners, connect the corners to the vanishing point. If you have a curve, just go from the very outside edge to the vanishing point. I'd like to see one of your practices, so please send me a picture of what you've drawn on Seesaw, and you don't have to put this on Artsonia today. All right, artists, I hope you've had fun. Try experimenting. Remember, you've got a week to try this out. So until next time, stay creative. Bye.